Hi, my name is Julia Taylor, and this is my Week 7 video summary. And this week materials focus on several major events during the late 1920s and the 1930s that changed the lives of many Americans. We learned about the Great Migration, the Great Depression, and the Dust Bowl and the Bonus Army, and how these events reshaped the country socially, economically, and politically. First, the Great Migration was a movement of many African Americans from the South to northern cities in search of better jobs to escape segregation and racial violence. Many family moved to industrial cities like Chicago, where factory jobs were available. This migration created new opportunities and stronger Black communities, but it also led to challenges like crowded housing and racial tension. It showed people how we were willing to relocate in order to pursue a better life. Then we studied the Great Depression, which began after the stock market crash in 1929, and banks closed, businesses failed, and unemployment rose dramatically. Many Americans lost their home and had to stand in bread lines just to eat. President Herbert Hoover believed that the economy would recover on its own, but many citizens felt like the government was not doing enough to help people who were suffering. And then after that, we talked about the Dust Bowl, the Dust Bowl made things even worse, especially for farmers in Great Plains. Years of droughts combined with poor farming practices caused massive dust storms that destroyed crops and forced families to leave their land. Many families migrated west looking for work, showing how environmental disasters can add to economic crisis. We also learned about the Bonus Army, a group of World War I veterans who marched Washington, D.C. to demand early payment of money that had been promised. These veterans were struggling financially and wanted help, but the government forced them to leave, which shocked many Americans and made questions about how the country was treating those who had served them. Because of these struggles, voters elected Franklin D. Roosevelt, which introduced the New Deal. His programs created jobs, supported banks, and provided relief to families. This marked a turning point because the federal government became more involved in helping citizens during hard times. What I found most interesting this week was how all these events were connected. Economic problems, environmental disasters, and social changes was happening all at the same time, and they forced the government to respond in new ways. This was new to me because I didn't realize how much these events changed the relationship between Americans and the government. But overall, this week's lesson is connected to the larger theme of how Americans respond to crisis and how ideas, opportunities, and responsibilities evolve over time. These events help shape modern American and showed how challenges can lead to major change. Thank you.